It was also a time of great inequality. The Gilded Age, taken from a satirical novel by 1973, supposed to imply that something that appears golden on the surface is underneath. Shortly after the end of the American Civil War in 1865, the U.S. underwent an enormous activity brought about by a industrialization in the renewed peak. The Gilded Age refers to this period between 1870 and 1900, which overlaps with the latter part of the Reconstruction. While the Civil War had some devastating effects on the U.S., it also inaugurated important changes, including the spread of the telegraph and a major expansion of the railways. Within the end of the war, America also began to experience a period of major economic growth. While the industrial period had begun in Great Britain, America experienced its most intense period of industrial development during the late 19th century. In many ways, America had for the spectacular spurt of economic growth, including coal and oil and many useful agricultural products. In the war, many European investors had a good bet for business. A wave of money poured in. As well as attracting investors, America also went through the biggest ever waves of migration, which more than doubled the U.S. population. Up to this point, it had roots in England, Scotland, and Wales. But the late 19th century saw many more immigrants arrive from the rest of the world, producing a much more diverse nation. As more visitor industries expanded, the U.S. became much more urban, and many more cities sprawled across the nation. This was the era of the world's skyscrapers, when skylines began to climb high. In particular, the East Coast blossomed due to its many trading ports, and the Great Lakes region became the beating heart of the industrial boom. Chicago was one of the great city age, becoming both a major railroad hub and a truly international attracted visitors worldwide. Cities grew back of new industries, and the Gilded Age is often remembered for the most important businessmen, many of whom became extremely wealthy. The late 19th century with capital, a time when private corporations were dominant, as wealthy ministries and reaped great dividends. The American colonies themselves had been partial enterprises who reaped capital from their investors, giving the U.S. a strong capitalist instinct quite early in its history. The American government continued to push a stance in the 19th century, allowing private companies to develop the major infrastructure the nation needed. The Gilded Age presidents were often said to be remarkably durable, as they, by and large, took a hands-off approach to governance. As industry produced many more opportunities in the hands of private businesses, America ballooned into the world's foremost. The downside of this economic boom was that the few people who had enough money to invest in large-scale business enterprises tended to stop their competition. Soon, multiple large monopolies under the spirit of healthy competition. The most wealthy and notorious of these large monopolies, Rockefeller oil monopoly, the Vanderbilt railroad monopoly, and the Carnegie steel monopoly. Carnegie Steel later became the steel monopoly, a well-known banker, which bought Carnegie out for $480 million. J.P. Morgan was also one of the Gilded Age. One of the wealthy made New York exceedingly rich by investing in business across the U.S. While these grand businessmen are as great American heroes or captains of industry, others describe these business moguls in less flattering terms, dubbing them the robbers of the Gilded Age. While some of these tycoons, such as Andrew Carnegie, spent millions on projects, most robber barons were infamously ruthless and corrupt. For example, the railroad mogul James Fisk was famously involved in several shady practices, from extortion, bribery, to risky market manipulation. Though by 1890, the Sherman Antitrust Act was passed, in an attempt to make the dangerous men accrued illegal. The act would have little effect on monopolies that already existed. The election of Ted Roosevelt at the end of the Gilded Age in 1901, at least some of the robber barons, among the most famous of the great tycoons, Vanderbilt, a man widely in his lifetime for his cunning business practices, because he was one of the major figures behind the enormous. The Gilded Age was the golden railway, as trains remained the fastest way to move goods across large areas. U.S., the Transcontinental Railroad, as it linked the Atlantic. When Vanderbilt entered the railroad industry, already previous businesses to buy up as rail trains as he could. The railroads were particularly vulnerable to being taken over by monopolies because there was a very limited amount of tracks in any given. Soon, Vanderbilt charged his customers extortionate profit that they had no choice but to use his business to transport their goods.
Subversion. This time, through his Dr. King held up to America and forced us to answer the question, where do we stand? Whose side are we on? We're in another moment right now where the mirror is being held up to America, being held up again. The question being asked again, where do we stand? Whose side are we on? Against voters, yes or no? Will we stand against subversion, yes or no? Will we stand up for an America where everyone is guaranteed the full protections and the full promise of this nation, yes or no? I know where I stand, and it's time for every elected official in America to declare where they stand. It's time for every American to stand up, speak out, be heard. Where do you stand? Whose side are you on? On this day of remembrance, service, and action, may God bless Dr. and Mrs. King and their family. May God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
Hello guys, this is Tommy with Politics. Welcome to Tommy Nation Tuesday. Whose side are you on? Saying guys, people or them?
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell of how the good old come in here to dwell. Which side you on, you on? He was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with you until battle's won.
This is an old. Oh, which side are you on?
Which side are you on?
The slave say it first.
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Black. Which side are you on? Are you on? Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, see how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Scab bosses don't lies, us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Joining us now is the President's ally, House Majority Congressman. It looks all that this voting rights bill will not pass. On Tuesday, Senator Sinema and Manchin no to a best rules. Do you have any hope for Tuesday?
For having me this morning.
Sharecroppers and organized for fair wage police interactions reform. This country was created with equal rights and an acknowledgement that all men are created equal and deserve them. So there's no both sides, just truth. There's wrong and right. And there's the question that lingers. You won. Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics. Which side are you on, guys? This is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's it going? Free thinking, innovative, totally open-minded, new progressive media. Hit us up at facebook.com/Tommy Nation Politics. Or you can always go to our website, www.tommynationpolitics.com. We're a new, independent, free thinking media. We give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So we handle it, guys. We're always talking about the truth. We're talking to truth tellers. Here with me on the show today, I have a new guest, Angel Rivera. We're going to be talking about the sides, the different sides of the spectrum of ideology and the different sides and the line drawn in the sand, guys, between the middle class and the elites and their puppets. There's a few sides, there's a few lines drawn, but I want to see what my has to say. Introduce him right now, Mr. Rivera. How's it going, Angel?
Good, yourself?
Good, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having
Glad
me.
you took my invitation. Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me.
So, I know you've been on always, bro. Okay, so let's get back to this conversation about you don't want to label yourself. We're talking about sides. That's what I feel like. You know, when it comes to the Democrats and Republicans and the who's right, who's wrong, who is right, who is wrong. Like, what do you think of this whole current political climate, Angel?
Well, to me, the whole political climate is just hyper partisanship, and both sides are bickering with each other, and nothing gets accomplished, and it's all a big waste of time. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, when you say things like that, people usually say things like, "Well, what are your solutions? Do you have any solutions at all?"
No, I mean it's kind of like pointless, and it's like, oh yeah, I mean everybody's fighting with each other, nothing gets accomplished, and my solutions are just to blow it up and start all over again.
Now, that is probably the clearest solution and the most inevitable thing that it's going to blow because we've got two parties that are hell-bent on not working for the people. They refuse to work for the people. In fact, these guys literally thrive on getting two Senate Democrats to thwart their entire agenda. The Democrats. I don't know. Are the Democrats by design or is it incompetence? Do you know, Angel?
What do I go back and forth. At times I think it's incompetence. Other times I think it's done on purpose. The whole rotating villain thing. Maybe I'm sure you heard of that. Basically, now the villains are Manchin and Sinema, but later it could be Chris Coons, or it could be Kamala Harris, or it could be the president, it could be anyone. So
not the president.
doesn't matter who.
Not the president. Not the president. He's going to restore the soul of America.
Oh yeah, sure. I remember that. Like that's supposed to happen. It was like, what does that mean? Even restoring the soul of the country? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
God save the president. Yeah, I think the only thing more ridiculous than literally having these people talk to you into voting blue no matter who, and then all of a sudden, Trump's policies are being re-implemented all over the place. You've got the indoor Mexico policy. You have the oil and gas policy still in place. You have the Trump tax cuts still in place. Nothing's fundamentally changed. But still, it was so important to literally vote for a guy who is the puppet of Bloomberg. We're talking about the Gilded Age I don't know if you saw my little pre-video,
Mhm.
but this is
Yeah.
come back, bro. They do the same
Yeah.
things, corrupt the same people. We had a civil war, bro, and then it's back into this. They're all the side of the elites. There is really
Mhm.
there really is no solution, is there? It's the
No, I
same thing.
mean when you ask me about what are my solutions, it's like, well, I have none. The only hope we have is to blow it up and start all over again, which means inevitably it means some sort of war or battle or whatever. But I don't know how that's going to happen because most Americans,
I don't
unfortunately,
know,
are
bro.
very lazy and complacent. Most Americans very lazy and complacent. So it's not
Lining
something that's not.
is that they don't think we're total chumps. They don't think we're total chumps because, like, literally, Google's watching us to make sure to see how we're going to deal with these COVID mandates
Yeah,
that they're coming up with.
yeah.
Where do you stand on that? Where do you stand on that? The COVID mandates.
The COVID mandates.
Yourself?
There should be no mandates. It's not. It should. It's not up to the government to tell me what I
Yeah.
can and cannot put in my body, especially when it comes
Okay.
to an experimental vaccine. You know.
So you're pro-choice. Oh wow, you made it! Congratulations. For a second I thought pro-choice wasn't popular anymore. Thank God. So a little silver lining though is that even
Yeah.
though all of the progressive people say they're progressive, they lose every single battle. They cave in all the time. They vote for Nancy Pelosi as House Speaker. They're still watching the people to act, and we're striking. Kellogg's workers are striking. We have what are you doing, Angel? You're distracting me. We have okay, Kellogg's workers are striking. People are saying no all down the line. We're hearing regular individual people turn their backs on their jobs because of their principles and values. It's amazing. It's almost like people have them now, and that's the only thing. I don't know, Angel, if you are listening to me, but I'm just like saying that's the only literal thing that's keeping these people from just inflicting a total insane mess of fascism. Is the fact that even though everyone who says they fight for us are completely fucking sponge invertebrates, tolerate this corporatocracy, oligarchy, fascism that's going on, where our jobs tell us what to put in our bodies and where our fucking reports are. I don't like that. They issue them what? This is like real Player One, Ready Player One. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Were you listening the whole time? Were you listening at all? Because I was on a rant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
I listened to it.
people.
Some of it.
So what do you think? Because I just went for 5 minutes. So what do you think on all that? The people are
Well,
actually rising up. What do you think?
well. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're. I think I agree mostly with you. I mean, yeah. This is like completely hopeless, and but I will continue to speak out and talk about it because somebody has to, and you are too, and others in my network are too. So it's very important to continue to speak out at the very least. That's the only thing we have here, our voices. And we might not have that either, especially Google's coming after us. But we'll keep talking. There's other platforms.
So yeah, those Google make what everybody's looking at right now because they're going to be the first mandates where companies are going to right.
Hmm.
That's going to be January or January. What's today? January 19th. When does I gotta Google that. When is Google's vaccine mandates coming out? Because everybody
I
was
don't
talking
know.
about how they're watching them, and
Hmm.
this is what I'm thinking is like, the more we are complacent, like Kamala Harris's speech, complicit, the more that they're going to walk all over us. And I think we've shown a little bit. This is my hopeful thing. I think we've shown a little bit. People can strike, they can walk away, they can say no, and I think that's really strengthened what leverage the middle class have on our political system. Don't you think, or not at all?
No,
The striking.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the worker strikes are good, and that's the only good thing that's been happening lately. All these worker strikes and the victories that the unions have been getting. That's all great, but that's like very few, and the and all these things have been going on last year and a half.
Well, finally went and said that the Democratic Party has turned their back on working people. Something that they'd done ever since I fucking voted for them
Yeah.
back in the day. Barack Obama. I literally voted for Barack Obama to end the wars.
I did too.
That's funny.
I voted
They haven't
from
delivered
voted
since then.
from
That's been like 20
yeah
years.
that yeah that's we've been in
That's
Middle East for 20
these
years.
guys.
I was in high school.
These guys.
That's how long ago we were there.
Yeah.
I was
So,
in high school,
so
and
what do you think?
can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard you. I voted for Obama twice in the hope he would end the wars, and instead, he not only he continued Bush's policies, but he made them worse. We went from 2 wars to 7. He at least he stopped torture, but that's like a small thing, you know. It's like but everything else he
Stop
continued.
torture.
Oh, I
I
mean,
so don't think stop
officially
torture.
he stopped torture. Officially, you know, let's you know,
Fucking
and that's what
CIA
I'm
is
going.
CIA his CIA secretary, bro. His CIA is a mad dog. He's a psycho.
Oh yeah, I mean,
He's the one who started
I
the
wouldn't be surprised.
whole Russian steal dossier thing. The CIA and that Brennan guy. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah,
And
I
then the
mean,
RussiaGate thing. Oh my god. That
RussiaGate
was an
was
adventure.
ridiculous from the beginning.
Tur-
From the beginning, it was
turns out.
ridiculous. It's like, yeah, it was
Turns
like
out.
when I read. Yeah, it turned out it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But I always thought the first article I read in the New York Times about all the intelligence agencies agreed on RussiaGate. I was like, nope, they never agree on anything. You, all the intelligence
Well,
over
they
the
agree
place,
there's
and all,
weapons of mass destruction. They agree
yeah,
that
and
there's
that,
weapons of mass destruction.
yeah, look how that turned out.
I
You
know.
know,
So why
so
the fuck would anyone ever believe you? Why this is why are these people? Why are they serious people? I don't get it, bro.
why do
They
people
should be
believe in
dissolved
them? It was
firsthand. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. But people believe in them because for partisan reasons, right? When Trump was president, the CIA was against
Yes,
Trump, so
you're right.
Democrats all of a sudden became pro-Trump, even though
You're
I mean
right.
pro-CIA, even though they hated the CIA during the Bush years. So it was like it's all partisan hackery on both sides. That's all. That's why I don't even take it seriously. So,
Yeah. So we do take seriously Julian Assange. So I know
yeah,
that one your handle says hashtag free Assange now. Do you know like the current
right.
situation that he's in? Is anything changed? Do you know about
Um,
Julian Assange?
he had he had a hearing on January 5th, I believe, I remember correctly, and the United States, I mean, the British court ordered him deported, not deported, but extradited to the U.S. But nothing has happened since then. We're kind of in limbo because there's like,
So
I'm
he
not
hasn't
sure in a
come.
legal battle. He's not here yet. No, he's not in
Yeah.
America yet. But he's been, the British court ordered, he said that he can be extradited to face his charges, his bullshit charges. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I haven't heard. There's not much update on that. It was as soon as there's an update, I'll talk about it, of course. But for now, there's no update. I mean, he's still in Belmarsh prison,
Yeah.
rotting away
That
there.
place I hear is a dump. Man, it
Oh God,
sucks, bro. We've got Edward Snowden in exile, and then we've got Julian Assange, and now we've got all of these liars and criminals just fighting for power.
mm-hmm.
So how do you think that's going to turn out? Like we said, like the Democrats have turned their back on the working people. What does that mean for Republicans? You think they're going to take the House? You think they're going to end up fucking taking the House and shit?
They'll take the House, they'll take the Senate, and in 2024 they'll take the White House. I mean, Biden's done. I mean, he's not going to come back from this. His approval
Oh,
rating
but
is
the
lower
Democrats
now.
have something the Republicans don't. The culture war. Just use that like they always do, and identity politics.
I'm No, I'm sure they will, but it probably won't
And
work because
this
Biden.
January 6th insurrection.
Oh, they'll use that too, but
About it.
yeah, but it won't work because Biden's approval rating is lower than Trump's ever was. He's like in a 32% last time I saw.
That's true. Did you vote for Biden? Just wondering.
No, voted third party. I
Yeah,
voted
I
third
voted for
party.
Hayek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about voting for Trump just for but I don't know. I probably couldn't sleep at night after that.
I thought about it too, voted for
Funny.
Trump. But I was like, no,
Yeah, bro.
I was like,
After
just to troll
what
people, like,
happened,
just to troll
so I
people, like,
want to.
I vote. But go ahead, yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, like literally. Okay, so when I talk to other progressives, like I feel bad because like we have the same ideology, we have the same wants as far as a government
Mm-hmm.
that works for all of us and not the few. But like there's a huge disconnect with me and other progressives on like that the Democratic Party is somehow involved in us getting these things that they never want, will say will never come to pass, and fight actively against. Like I'm
Oh,
insane, and so
yeah, progressives who believe in
people find me. Go ahead.
yeah,
What do you think about
progressives
that?
who believe in the Democratic Party. I have a bridge to sell you. It's the Brooklyn Bridge. It's very expensive. Give me money. That's what I say, because
You can sell,
there's no
you can
way.
sell that. You can sell the bridge.
Yeah, I
You can
can
sell
sell
the
it right
Brooklyn
now.
Bridge. Oh
If you really
man,
believe it, if you really believe the Democratic Party is in favor of progressive policies, I can sell you that bridge, because it's ridiculous. It's like Obama continued Bush's policies, Biden continued Trump's policies. So what's the point?
right?
It's like we all know.
No,
Let's say
yeah.
let's say if Trump comes back in 2024 and wins, the next Democratic president will continue Trump's policies again. That's how this is a game being played on all of us.
Well, meanwhile, while they're all playing that dumbass game, this is what's happening to Bernie Sanders. I want to bring this back, guys, so everybody.
Voters by saying her rival's universal health care plan is wishful thinking.
People who have health emergencies can't wait for us to have some theoretical debate about some better idea that will never, ever come to pass.
She drove.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?
Let me begin by thanking the 13 million Americans who voted for me during the Democratic primaries. And thank you, New Hampshire, for giving us our first great victory. And a very special thanks to the people of the state of Vermont whose support for so many years, as a mayor, as a congressman, as a senator, and as a presidential candidate, have sustained me and Jane and our entire family. Vermont, thank you. Let me also thank the hundreds of thousands of volunteers throughout this country in every state in the union who work so hard on our campaign, and the millions of contributors who showed the world that we could run a successful national campaign based on small individual contributions. $2.5 million of them.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
Together, we have begun a political revolution to transform.
Michael Bloomberg is also taking on Sanders for the online behavior of his supporters. Morning Joe has this first look at a brand new digital ad from the Bloomberg campaign.
It is vitally important for those of us who hold different views to be able to engage in a civil discourse.
Jonathan Lemire, what do you think?
Well, that was pretty harsh. I mean, we've certainly seen the Mayor Bloomberg train.
So even the media said that fucking ad from Bloomberg was harsh. It turns out we ended up endorsing puppet because we thought we were Medicare for all. I guess. I don't know. Blue, no matter who. Is that getting us our goals? No. So I agree. I'm agreeing with you, bro. What do you think?
I was one of those Bernie bros in 2016, and I just remember how just Hillary Clinton just screwing us over and everything. It was just awful. And when Bernie conceded and actually campaigned for Hillary, I nearly puked. It was so disgusting. And by 2020, yes, I did support Bernie again, but it was like, bleh. It was like, okay, I'll support him again, but I know he's not going to win anyways. And exactly what happened. He didn't win. He dropped out almost immediately, endorsed Biden, embarrassed himself in the process, and Bernie's done.
So you
Bernie
didn't think he was going to win you didn't think he was going to win even when he was the front runner?
No, because I knew somehow they'll screw him over, like he did in 2016, and they did it. And Bernie immediately dropped out once COVID happened. And immediately, at least with Hillary, he waited until July or something. But in March, he was done. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm endorsing Biden." COVID, whatever, pathetic.
He wasn't even fighting Biden. Are you sure you were going to cut Social Security, Joe? Are you sure? You said you were going to cut Social Security, Joe. Remember that?
Yeah, even though he was winning
those mittens, it was the war.
He won the first few states, and then after that, he was like, my friend Joe, he can be a great president. And it's like, then why are you running?
My friend Joe wants to cut Social
My
Security.
friend Joe. He's like, my friend Joe, and yes, he can win.
I'll try it a fourth time. Fucking Joe Biden, bro. What a dick.
God.
Oh my God. So yeah, I think that take some Trump. I think I take Joe Biden. What do you think? I don't know, bro. This guy just seems to be like such a dick. I don't think Trump would ever do mandates. In fact, Trump would fucking cancel my student loans. I can name 5 progressive things that Trump did that Joe Biden would never do. I could do it. I dare me. Joe Biden literally nothing, bro. And his fucking vice president.
Trump did at least a few things that were like, oh wow, the stimulus checks. Obama never did stimulus checks 10 years ago.
No,
that's the thing. He never did stimulus checks. Oh, Trump did. That's more progressive than Obama. And at the end of his term, the $600 checks, he's like, I want $2,000 checks. I was like, that. No way, Biden would never do that.
He was
Obama
fighting.
would do that. But
he was fighting with Bernie. Get those $2,000 checks.
Yeah,
it was great.
And then what's funny is the squad grandstanding. He's like, oh, it's our idea. It's like, no, it was Trump's idea. You just stole his idea and pretended it was yours.
Oh,
it's embarrassing. The squad.
It did not look good for the Democrats. It was, bro. It was.
Yeah,
You're
it was embarrassing.
Right. When you got Trump for getting you from the left every time, he was like, he vetoed the military budget. I've never seen a Democratic veto the military budget. Honestly, guys, you're like Trump tarnation, like you will see that Trump was better for progressives than Joe Biden, guys, by every fucking rank and measure. So this guy won't even cancel $5,000 a student. Everything in his power is all fucking mandating and making his fucking friends rich in pharma. That's all I can see. And Bloomberg, whatever he did with Bloomberg, it's working. Now I know why.
Remember what Joe Biden told his donors? Nothing fundamentally changed, and he was honest to his donors. That's the only people. That's the only people he cared about. He didn't care about any of us. That's the only campaign promise he's kept to his donors.
So we established all this a million times. So we're gonna still keep voting blue then? We're gonna still keep voting blue?
I'm not voting blue ever again.
No matter who?
No matter
who. How about voting blue no matter who, though? If not, you're racist, sexist. You're getting in the way. You're a spoiler. You're spoiling everything.
I've been told, yes, I am. Now, maybe if I'm that powerful, then people listen to me.
You are, apparently. During the election time. Then you're nothing.
Yeah, I hope people listen to me. If I'm this powerful, I can ruin elections, Just, I'll tell you how to win.
You're like, bro. You're like Joe Manchin.
Yeah,
You must have that.
that the thing.
Yeah.
The
So
thing with Manchin is he actually he knows how to use his power, unlike Bernie. Like Manchin killed he killed the Build Back Better thing by himself. No problem. It was like, oh yeah, I don't want to do this. Fuck you.
it
I'm
was
done.
also
I'm
the
not
fact
done.
that like they literally gutted it all before he even fucking said.
Yeah, they gutted it
Like,
to satisfy him, and then he killed it anyways. Like, no, I don't want to do this. I got my bipartisan infrastructure bill. I'm good.
Yeah. So this is a question I have. So this Build Back, why is Bernie championing it? Even though they gutted out all of his progressive provisions, and Manchin said no, it seems to be hopeless. Well, like, what is his plan? Do you think? Besides talk shit about the Democrats, like, I don't know what the plan is.
I don't know what his plan is. I don't know. I don't know what he thinks he's doing. Like, oh yeah, Build Back Better. It's like it's a gutted piece of shit bill. I mean, just kill it. Yeah,
Why is
it's
he
like okay,
championing that shit?
because I don't know. I mean, I don't know Bernie. It's like, oh yeah, I can't even fathom a guess. Like the only thing I could think of is he's hoping that maybe somehow they'll come back to it and pass it next year, but the Republicans will be empowered by then. So there's no chance that they'll pass anyway. So I don't know what his plan is. If you ask me, I mean, it's like
I don't know what the plan is. Period. They're literal failures, bro. They fail at everything they try or attempt. In fact, is it by design? Or incompetent? I have no idea. Like I said, it's
by
between those
design.
two.
My guess is, I go back and forth, but right now I think it's by design. They're paid by the donors to lose, and they're paid to be weak by the donors because they all have the same donors, both parties. So
that's true. Except
that's
I feel
what
like the Democrats have more billionaire donors. They have Bezos, who owns the Washington
well,
Post,
now that
and then they have like fucking Bloomberg, and then what's his name?
Well, now they do.
Guy, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that
now they do because
sorry.
Tom Steyer, Tom Steyer, yeah. But what do I think?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's because of Trump. Because the billionaires hate Trump right now, so it's like Trump's the leader of the Republican Party. So let's all go to Democrats. So that's what's going on right now. But if Trump was gone, I would suspect that more billionaires would back Trump. I mean, the Republicans.
You know, you used to donate to the Democrats. Do you know what you have to not do for a billionaire? They even failed on Trump's agenda. These Democrats, if you think about it, that's why he had to run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Trump was a Democrat. Back in the 90s.
So what was,
back in the back in the 90s, he used to. I think he championed Medicare for all, single payer. Back in the 90s, he did an interview. I was like,
I'm gonna make sure everybody can. I'm gonna make sure everyone gets healthcare. China.
This is back in the 90s when he's fantasizing about being president. He's like, oh yeah, I would give everyone healthcare. I was like, wait, what? That's single payer. I was like, okay. I was shocked by that, but it was like, I'm actually not surprised.
You're not surprised?
Oh, I'm not surprised by Trump anymore. I mean, he's all over the place. I mean, he'll say one thing and he'll say the next thing the next day. So, but at the time I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I would just say he does, and it really throws the media off. And they're still they have no idea what happened. Oh my God! What did he say now? Disinfectant. With Joe Biden, it's not so funny anymore. So, what was the last? I'm curious, Angel. What was the last thing you talked to podcast or your YouTube channel? Like the last issue?
It was an AOC video. I made fun of her for the she does, every year she does like the top 20 accomplishments of her year in Congress, and most of them were not accomplishments. They were like things that she took credit for, even though she had nothing to do with. So that was my most recent like videos on YouTube about her. I haven't made a video in a week or two because of my computer issues, but I got that fixed. So I'll be back strong soon.
Cool beans. Well, it's funny that she is literally, they said, a New York Times article, she was the most or a congressperson in the Congress, ineffectual. She was the most ineffectual. Yeah. So I don't understand why Why? First of all, I don't understand why the right wing is always so afraid of AOC. Oh my God, she's gonna cause socialism. Green New Deal socialism. That's what Handy says. Green New Deal socialism. Full stop. She's literally never accomplished anything, really, except some TikTok videos.
Yeah, nothing. And
what disappoints me about the progressive movement right now is that we're not winning at all.
No.
And we've got to change our strategy. Pretty much what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's totally hopeless, Angel. Strategy. We got to hear the word no. They're not used to it. We gotta say no to the hell to the no to these fucking politicians and let them know who fucking runs the bitch. They forgot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where my shit is.
No, not only they forgot, a lot of Americans have forgotten. A lot of Americans worship these politicians like they're some kind, like they're heroes. They work for us. We pay their salaries. Our taxes pay their salaries, and they treat them like they're heroes and like they're above criticism. They're not. I mean, AOC has failed miserably. The Squad has failed miserably. Bernie Sanders has failed miserably. The Democratic Party failed miserably. And their supposed agenda, they're supposed to believe in, which I don't think they really do, or else they wouldn't be as weak and as conciliatory and gladly giving in every 5 seconds.
It's by design.
They've forgotten. We've forgotten. Everybody's forgotten.
Like you said, I don't know what is going to turn it back on. Maybe finding people's happy thoughts. I don't know. What do you think could turn this back? What do you think could turn back the ship from oligarchy? Anything?
Well, the only thing we can do, what I think, is just realize, people need to realize that we're in charge, that we control, that our voice and can control politicians. I mean, once we realize they work for us and not the other way around, then maybe we can turn this around, because then at that point they won't be hero worshiping these politicians like in France. I mean, there was a couple of protests recently where they dumped shit all over a politician for being in favor of vaccine mandates. Literally, they threw shit at him. This politician.
What happened to them?
Like, because they were against that. The politician was pro-vaccine mandate, so they threw shit on him, like literal shit. I'm not sure if it was human shit or horse shit or whatever, but they threw shit on him in front of his house and threw it. And when he came out to try to calm them down, they threw it on him. So it was like, no, we're not interested in
that sounds
you trying
awesome,
to calm us down.
If someone threw shit on Nancy Pelosi, I would literally pay to see that shit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And back in 2014, they threw bullshit on the presidential mansion where Macron is at. Literally, it's like the farmers came out and just dumped tons of horse shit on him on the house where he lives at. That's back in 2014, though, a few years ago. But the French know how to protest. They don't play.
They know how to treat. Yeah, literally, I agree. God damn it.
That's what we need to do. That type of protest, even though we'll be called monsters and we'll be called uncivilized and we'll be called all this other stuff. But that's the way it needs to be done in order to get real change. Some people may get arrested.
I think that is.
Some people may get arrested, but
we the people of ourselves and our posterity. Get out there and remember that shit.
Yeah.
Before we go, anywhere the audience can find you at Angel Rivera. You're on Twitter. Twitter handle Angel Rivera 08.
Yes, I'm there. I'm also on YouTube. You can find me Angel Rivera, the Handsome Cynic, CYNIC. You can also find me on Odyssey, Twitch, and Rumble at the same Handsome Cynic. The nickname. And you can find me on my I'm all over the place basically. I have a link tree too, which is underneath my Twitter. So if you go on my Twitter, my link tree is there. So you can find all my links.
That's how I found your YouTube. Yeah, I was subscribed to
you. Okay, good. I'll subscribe to you too.
Yes, please. And don't forget to drop in anytime, because we're a free-thinking, innovative, totally open-minded, progressive media. So, friends to you. This is my guest, Angel Rivera, guys. This is Tommy Nation Politics. That was Tommy Nation Tuesday. Innovative, open-minded. This Truth or lies?